All right, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the steel capital of the world, Pittsburgh, PA, and Heinz Field. This was the scene just a few moments ago as the Pittsburgh faithful were fired up by the hometown Steelers taking the field. They're all set as they'll match up with the Cleveland Browns. Lurching closer toward the midway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. First carry for James Conner. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. Excellent effort defensively by him. 2 tackles for a loss last week, now 1 here in the first quarter. He's an absolute disruptor, isn't he? And I think most offenses would love to go against guys who just want to hold the point of attack and try and keep things clean for their linebackers. But when they make those moves and they can get upfield, past the offensive line into the backfield, that's hard to handle. And a short pickup there as he'll take this up to right around the 20. Give him 2 on that run, and they're still left looking at a 3rd and about 9 to go. Now it's Roethlisberger. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Joe Schobert in there to get him for a loss of 9, and that'll lead to 4th down. On 4th down, here comes the Steeler punter Jordan Berry to kick it away. Back deep, Jarvis Landry. Taken from just outside the 30. Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the Browns have a short field in front of them now as they take over 1st and 10. Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now, 1st and 10, right at the 50-yard line.
All right, here we go. Blue 90! Blue 90!
A first carry for the rookie Nick Chubb. And he'll get this one across midfield and down into Steeler territory. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself your best chance to win. So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble. And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace. 2nd down, Mayfield. He's going to rifle one deep left. That's caught inside the 20. Give him 30 yards there. That's a big-time pitch and catch right there. And, partner, I remember the days when quarterbacks would try this. They were holding their breath. But nowadays, they're counting on their receiver to be just a little bit better than the defensive back when it's one-on-one and the ball's in the air like that.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39, green 39.
On 1st down, they'll run with Chubb. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And it'll be second and very short.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
They go with Chubb on second down. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. A 5-yard gain, and now they're set up first and goal. A couple of nice carries back-to-back here, establishing the ground game a bit.
Yeah, these aren't bare-bones runs now. I mean, they're getting substantial yardage, the kind of yards you're looking for, right? Let's go ahead and use a cliche. Stay ahead of the change, right? 5 or more yards each time. That's what you're looking for in setting a tone and getting your offensive line going.
Good sign on the opening drive. They'll give it to Chubb. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage back to the 4-yard line. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
Did your high school have that same push them back cheer?
I was a kicker.
Well, it certainly worked. Didn't matter whether we were kickers or not. That one worked, didn't it? They pushed him back at his last snap of the ball, and boy, they created a nice play for themselves. Would they lose 3 on that one?
Yeah, from the 1 back to the 4. He'll get it up the middle. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. It'll go as no gain on the play, and now they're looking at a 3rd and goal. Now Mayfield on 3rd and goal. And too much on that one. It's out of the back of the end zone, incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
A good drive gets him inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that happens, because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went over.
And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. Sheldon Richardson coming up the middle, gets him there for a loss of about 9. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Here's Roethlisberger. And he's going to be taken down, sacked back at the 2.
That's 3 sacks now, and that's not much of a surprise to me, nor should it be to you. This team, they lead the league in sacks.
Yeah, they do. This is something that we are starting to witness time and time again. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
And indeed, that's what they'll do as they run it here. Just a 2-yard pickup, and that should necessitate a call for the punt team here on 4th down.
The scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Now Landry, agile footwork. That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. The first look at the NFL scoreboard comes from the Motor City. And early on, the driver's seat belongs to the Seahawks. We'll keep you updated on that one as it progresses. Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now 1st and 10 at the 34. start on the ground with Nick Chubb. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
While we know that the identity of this offense is to throw the ball, they've got to run it every so often, if for no other reason than to tamp down the pass rush. They can't let them just tee off and get to their quarterback.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Handoff comes to Chubb. And he'll work this one up to about the 38. Call it an 8-yard pickup, and it'll be 3rd down.
But you've got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball, because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
Back with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. The Browns with a football to begin quarter number 2. They're looking at a 3rd and 6 here to start things out. To throw, Mayfield. And he's got his man. That's Landry. First catch for last year's NFL catch leader, and it's a first down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
They pitch it to Chubb. And they go backwards here. Losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level, because the big fella, he just ate that one a lot. Just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man.
We got three, fellas. We got 3.
A give. This is Chubb. And he'll get this one across midfield and down into Steeler territory. 4 yards on the pickup there, and now they're left with a 3rd and 8.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense, because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. He finds Beckham complete. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. Just what the Browns needed there. Good for a gain of 17.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Mayfield now on 2nd down. They'll go screen here to Hunt. Nothing on the screen that time. Now it's 3rd down. So nothing there on the screen that time.
That means all that great acting they tried on offense went for naught, didn't it? Because you have to try and influence them. Make them think that you're doing something else. Make them think that they can get to the passer by letting them by and then setting up the screen and getting downfield. Didn't happen at all. Give a lot of credit to the defense for not tumbling to that one.
Here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Third and long for Mayfield. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. They do get 12, but they'll be marked short. And that leads to a fourth down. And his kick is right there. It's good. And that will add 3 more to their lead. It pushes it up to 6. So scores on their first 2 possessions, but 6-0, so field goals probably not what they were hoping for.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that. Not what they were hoping for, but they should be happy that they have points on the board. It almost feels like that old slow and steady wins the race, doesn't it? In this case, though, they want to be slow and steady now, but get explosive later and put the points up on the board.
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so the fears...
Looking for Johnson, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 35. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line. Johnson was the intended receiver. And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. But if you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job, finding ways.
And Njoku pulls this one in. He's got it for a Cleveland touchdown. David Njoku, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Browns add 6 to their lead. Point after, right down the middle. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or 2 shy of the 30. Elsewhere on this Sunday in the NFL, they're in the second quarter in Detroit. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. That one tight to this point, and you'd have to imagine it'll stay tight throughout. It's Connor as they stay on the ground. He works his way forward for a couple up past the 30.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Roethlisberger will hand to Connor. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
Partner, we're into the second quarter, and I guess you can kind of look at it both ways. The offense, they've got to figure out what they're going to do because they haven't scored any points. But if you're the defense, you're feeling great about what you've got going on. The only concern you have, if you get to the half, what adjustments will the offense make to try to defeat you?
They don't want it, fellas. They don't want it. Keep playing hard.
2 minutes to go here in the first half. Back to Heinz Field after this. On 3rd down. That's Connor. Not much room here as he only gets it to about the 30. Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's 4th down. And now a timeout called defensively by the Browns. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback. Heading out as the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
And he'll take this one only up to about the 21. The tackle there by Mark Barron.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
All right, here we go. Green, 39.
Now a second down throw for Mayfield. Caught left side, it's Beckham. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. 23 yards on the play. Chubb on the counter. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets him to 2nd and 4.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, got to like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
Working out of the gun, Mayfield. And bringing it in right side here, Beckham. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime. On 1st and 10, Mayfield. He'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And out of bounds all the way down at the 3. A good pickup there, a 22. Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. They'll run with Chubb, and he'll keep working toward that end zone as he's down to about the 2-yard line. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. From the 2 now, 2nd and goal.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19. 3-19. Detroit, Detroit.
From the gun, Mayfield. And that's going to be caught for a Browns touchdown. Odell Beckham in the final seconds of the first half. And the Browns add on to their lead. Extra point right down the middle. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
So we come upon halftime, and it's the visiting Browns with the lead. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. The Browns are going to get the second half kickoff, and they've got this lead as well as we are back and underway. Here's the Browns offense now getting set to start off this third quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
I think it's pretty evident we can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll set up a third down. They'll go left side on the ground with Chubb. And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's fourth down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. Time for the Steelers offense now to get set for their first possession of half number 2. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance really to set the tone here in quarter 3.
They can really take charge, can't they? And this is probably how it was drawn up at the half. I think we can go inside the locker room, all right? And I think we would see up on the grease boards, stop them defensively, get the ball back for the offense. And
this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by the rookie Denzel Ward. And to the 43. So down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over. Following the interception, Mayfield. He's going to loft one deep left side here. So they took a shot on first down but couldn't connect.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
So second down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. A toss play to Chubb. Runs through the contact. And he's going to take it down to about the 35 here. A nice job to get 8 there after the incompletion, and now they'll look at a 3rd and 2 coming up.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
They'll run for it. Here's Chubb. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's fourth down.
So statistically, both of these offenses having a rough time getting a running game going. But, boy, what a nice play there defensively.
Tackling him behind the line, but you're right. You look at the numbers. Neither side looks on track in the ground game. And no, it doesn't get there. Hits the crossbar, bounces back out. He had it on line, but it comes up about a rotation short. Well, he had that one on target. That's half the battle. The other half of the battle, however, is distance.
And he nearly had that, too. But it was the crossbar that said otherwise, and that'll deny him a shot at 3.
So after the missed long field goal attempt, this offense set up nicely at the 44-yard line. The drive will start with Connor, and they went the wrong way there, losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. Calling a loss of 2 on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 12. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. They stay on the ground. Here's Connor again. And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to 43.
Well, they certainly haven't been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got a chance to pin their ears back and get after them now.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Off the play fake. Here's Roethlisberger. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And Big Ben intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by the former first-round pick, Demarius Randall. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops. They were looking for Johnson that time.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now, 1st and 10 at the 40. They begin this drive with Chubb, and the play goes nowhere, losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Watch him now, Barney! Barney! All right, here we go.
They run it again with Chubb. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
One thing rookies need to learn at this level, and quick, make a cut, be decisive, and go. Because in college, you could dance around and wait for a hole to open because you're probably a better athlete than most of the guys on the field, but not on the NFL level.
So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. Mayfield on play action. Over the middle and into the hands of his receiver Landry. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. It's a gain of 20 and picking up the 1st. They toss it left side to Chubb. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Leopard! Leopard!
And again, it's Chubb. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Two running plays, each lose a yard. They'll need to do much better now on 3rd and 12.
Over!
A run for Nick Chubb. And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave them with a 4th down.
Now, that result is no surprise. This team is bringing back memories of what? The 85 Bears, the 2000 Ravens. Those teams were so great against the run, they made you abandon any plans of doing that when you played against them.
Back now in Pittsburgh, as we are just about set to go here in quarter number 4. Here's Britton Colquitt now, as he'll punt it away for the second time. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. And now out come the Steelers. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Well, they did throw interceptions on their last 2 drives, so no surprise at all they decided to start it with a running play. I'm actually a little bit surprised, though, that they got as much out of it as they did.
Yeah, decent little gain. Puts them in a pretty good spot for 2nd down. They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24. Again, it's Connor. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. And the Steelers on 3rd down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. They run with Connor. And a short gain there as he'll get it up only to about the 24. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up a 4th down. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
Here's Jordan Berry now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. Landry now on the return. Only 29 yards on the punt there. Definitely not his best. And out will come the offense as they take over. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. With this lead and the football, things obviously looking good, but maybe, you've taught me this before, maybe this is where the defense is hoping that the offense helps them preserve that shutout that they've got going.
And it has to be in the minds of the offense that they know how rare it is to get a shutout. So take care of them, protect them, take care of the ball, move it downfield, run the clock down. You don't want your defense to have to go on the field again the rest of the game. Reward them.
And he stopped immediately there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Will get the call running left. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
Easy work. It's easy work, and it's coming again.
The Browns on 3rd down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This is going to be 3rd and 13. Mayfield off the play fake. And this is going to be incomplete.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just one target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target of the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him, though. Find him. Find him.
44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. This is taken around the 12. 43 yards on the punt. 7-yard return, and the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back, those are the ones you focus on and want to take away. And they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
Connor. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. That good for 22 and a first down.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
Here we go.
Now it's Connor. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. And this defense continues to give them fits. They just can't get really anything going on the ground, can they?
I love the theme that you just brought up. This defense has been tough all game long against the run. We just saw another example of it there.
Time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out after this. Here's Connor. Only a yard on the pickup there, so it leaves them needing a conversion here on 3rd and a tough 9.
Oftentimes we praise an offense for their variety of being able to hit people with the run in the past, but in this game, how about what we're seeing from the safeties? They are all over the field. Doesn't matter if they threw it or if they're trying to run it.
I don't think we've ever awarded an MVU, most valuable unit, but you're right, it might go to them in this game.
I like that, MVU. Well done.
On 3rd down, that's Connor. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. That good for 19 and a first down.
Well, as we've learned over the years, just because a guy plays left tackle doesn't mean he doesn't have run blocking abilities. And we just saw it there. Controlled the line of scrimmage, created a big gain.
That's kind of a bonus. He's there to protect that high value that you have back under center, but he creates space in the run game.
Yeah, not only can he dance, he can mash too.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. And they'll go on the ground. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
So, Charles, are able to complete what so often seems to be elusive, a shutout in the NFL. And maybe what's fitting is they ended the game on the field, that defensive unit on the field. What an exclamation mark.
And probably felt like they could go another 60 minutes without anyone putting points on the board against them. That's the confidence you gain throughout when you're pitching a shutout, and they're going to leave the stadium feeling like they're all 10 feet tall.
So for Cleveland, they close out this first half at a very solid 6-2, and they'll return home next week to take on the Kansas City Chiefs. Meanwhile, for the Steelers, they dipped to 2-5 now with the loss, and they'll be on the road next week for a matchup with the Baltimore Ravens. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charlie Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.